Hello bags, it's Jade. Welcome back to another Survival 2019 Awards video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the prettiest maps, the most amazing worlds, the creations that you love exploring the most. What really draws you into a game, a survival game? Often it is exploration because that's what drives you forward. Finding the unknown, looking for resources, finding certain creatures. That's all part of most survival tropes, or simply using your surroundings to avoid creatures and enemies. It's all part and parcel of a survival experience, and I gave you guys the chance to vote on your best or favourite maps, prettiest games, etc. So make sure you like the video, go and check the rest of them out, and a big shout out and thank you to my patrons who have helped sponsor me make these videos. So counting down, number 5, Astra. This is probably one of the games that I maybe could have swapped out for a number of others. But I really like the art style of Astra. I think it's really pretty. And there's definitely lots to explore. Over the last year they've added a bunch of content to it to make exploring more rewarding too, instead of just having to get resources to go from planet to planet. It's colourful, it's got unique art style, and you've always got lots of wreckage to go and explore. It's very different from the rest of the survival games out there, but it only got 2%. I think it's almost criminal that number 4 is No Man's Sky with only 10% of the vote. I totally would have put this up there as either number 1 or number 2. You've got literally a whole galaxy to explore, multiple galaxies in fact. Thousands of planets all looking unique and different. Maybe it's the art style that grates against some people, maybe some people just can't move on the way it launched. But no doubt about it, over the years No Man's Sky has become one of the best examples of how to support your game. No microtransactions, free content, continually updating their community and delivering on what the community wants. They've just added their brand new sound synthesizer pack, free to use, and it means that you can curate your own custom space dance tracks. This is what makes exploring the world's No Man's Sky even more special. From Earth to orbit in 10 seconds, the huge universe has so much to explore. I guess though that sometimes the repetitiveness of some of the creatures and maybe some landscapes didn't really strike a chord with some of you. You know what I'm talking about. Although they're very unique, sometimes you still feel like you've seen some of it just before. But undoubtedly, find that perfect planet, build that amazing base, or take some cool screenshots of your amazing rovers and vehicles, and No Man's Sky is definitely still a winner. Number 3 with 17% was Subnautica. Absolutely, it's got some fantastic biomes, pretty, it looks unique. Definitely in terms of exploration, I really feel that it gives you the atmosphere and it really makes everything come together when you come across certain different biomes. Of course, one of the most special reasons about Subnautica is it's underwater. There's so many survival games that use water. Ark probably does it maybe the second best with all the water creatures that you can tame. But Subnautica really obviously makes you live and breathe, get it, under the water. It's scary and terrifying when you go into deep caves, wondrous and amazing when you come across shoals of pretty fish, and a little bit of excitement when you come across a brand new blueprint in a wreckage. It's very easy to get lost as well if you're not putting waypoints down everywhere. The only bit of work that is probably needed is the overland sections, and we've already seen the improvements in Subnautica's sequel. However, it is a little bit limited. Once you've explored all of Subnautica, there isn't really that much more reason to keep going. Maybe that's why it's number 3. The fact that it's only single player as well, I think that goes against it in some people's eyes, as many survival players just like to play with others and share the excitement of exploration together. Number 2, Conan Exiles with 18% of the vote. You guys said it was the most fun to explore, maybe the most prettiest. I kind of agree but not agree. There are definitely some good points in Conan Exiles and I've seen such improvements with them, talked to the community and all the updates and stuff they've added. And some of the locations for sure, like the ruins and the stuff that you can find, it's got reasons to go out there. And that's what I really love about exploring in Conan Exiles. You can gain knowledge by finding certain things. You guys obviously love the mix of the desert, the snow and the jungles. One thing it definitely has going for it is the lore stones, and that also adds to the overall feeling of a reason to explore and getting rewarded for exploring. These lore stones or ghosts generally give you a little bit of a story, often with voice dialogue as well. I nearly put it into the best story category, but ultimately the ending left a little bit left to desire. Overall, I would say the Conan Exiles map is pretty functional. It's got what you need. It's got the dungeons, it's got the looks, but it just doesn't necessarily wow me as much as some other games do. But for sure, there's always plenty to find. The map is looking pretty crowded at the moment, and with Conan Exiles reportedly carrying on into well 2020 and 2021, it looks like we're going to be receiving even more content. But the devs have let slip, or I should say the CEOs have, that we may be seeing either a new map extension or a new map entirely. I really hope they do go all out on the landscapes and really craft some really unique, beautiful places. There are some really nice hotspots, but the world just doesn't seem as live as some of the other games in this video and some other games that I could mention. Nevertheless, 18% of you voted Conan Exiles as number 2 best game to go and explore. And at number 1, with 53% of the vote, 4,500 of you guys voted, you chose Ark Survival Evolved. As much as I'd like to sit here and say No Man's Sky is prettier, Subnautica's got some great biomes, Conan Exiles has got the lore stones, and even Astra looks pretty unique. There's no doubt about it that Ark Survival Evolved, with its free content and obviously some of its paid content too, offers the widest choice in exploration. Each map has got a variety of different biomes and subsections in it, lots of caves to explore, lots of danger as well. I've criticised Ark for not having much of a story in my opinion, but there are lots of explorer notes for you to find, and they can give you a back history of your survivors that have come before you. I just don't think it goes well enough or gives you more than you probably could get if it was more voice acted and just made you feel a bit more special about finding something rather than just a note on the screen. But that's a little bit nitpicky. I really love Ark Survival Evolved simply because of the environments. No other game really truly feels alive like Ark Survival Evolved does. When you look at certain maps and you're in certain areas, No Man's Sky maybe has it a little bit with certain creatures, but you can easily come across lots of planets that look a bit dead and lifeless, and that's the way they're meant to look, even some that aren't. But Ark really does feel alive. Creatures are going about their business, they're hunting other creatures, having fights. The trees sway in the breeze, the foliage moves about. I absolutely love it. It always makes me feel like I am in a living, breathing world. And that's just the island. When you think about all the content that Ark has got, some of it free, including the Ragnarok map and the Center map, then you add on the Valguero map that came out this year, and definitely Ark Survival Evolved still has probably the shining light in how to build worlds and environments that feel alive. Like I said, it is lacking certain things. It doesn't have the ruins or the exploration points as good or as exciting as Conan Exiles, and of course the caves can be interesting, but more often than not they're murder places for you to just get killed while you're trying to get that one artifact. I will say the devs who got the modders to make the free maps, they tended to do a better job in fleshing out some of these caves and making them feel like proper ruins and places that you want to explore. Particularly the center map, which I still rate as one of the best maps simply for the work that went into all the underground network. Remember, I'm not simply just labelling it the best game. Ark has got its faults and the other games have got their plus points, but I'm talking just about the prettiest maps, or the ones that really make you feel lived in, or the ones that really want to make you explore. If you're not running from danger, you're running to danger, and that's what Ark Survival Evolved has over all the rest of them. You're constantly in fear, you're constantly feeling like there's creatures nearby, and you could all of a sudden be run up on by a raptor or a T-Rex. And even the free-to-play maps like Ragnarok and the Center really offer much better exploration points, particularly for builders. I think that's why so many people have chosen Ark, because they just love building in certain biomes, locations, whether it's by waterfalls, on top of cliff-like structures, or exploring the dangerous caves of aberration and the landscapes of extinction. The ability to take your survivor across all the different maps, even on your single player world, and do it with your one single character, really also enforces that feeling that you can explore and travel to other areas. The paid DLC maps have come and gone with mixed results. Scorched Earth seemed amazing at first, but it quickly lent over to a bit of blandness because it was more or less all just the desert. It did have some fantastic ruins, but it just still wasn't enough. There wasn't enough caves or things to do. After that, of course, we had Aberration, and that was just one big huge cave network, and I felt that needed more biomes, but these biomes are some of the prettiest you've ever seen from underground worlds. Even when they was filled with radiation and creatures that would literally burst from your chest, they were still really pretty. And then we had Extinction, which kind of was a bit of a mishmax pot of all the worlds, all the biomes in its distinct little bubbles. But the city landscape again was truly exceptional. It really made me feel like I was amongst giants. And no other game really has that as much. Like I said, maybe No Man's Sky gives me that sense of wonder sometimes, but the planets all do become pretty repetitive. With the biggest drawback of course being that most of the planets have got the same biome wrapped all the way around it. There's no real diversity. Ark Survival Evolved wins the prettiest maps, most stuff to do, fun to explore 2019. Agree, disagree, pop your comments in the description box down below. Let me know if you've played all of the games. Make sure you go and check out the rest of these polls and votes. And I really wish you all a happy Christmas and a happy 2020.